Congratulations to Barcelona. Congratulations to our guys grabbing a win against Valladolid in a match that I tagged very much difficult, in a match that I tagged the most difficult of this La Liga campaign, based on the fact that we have a possible Inter Milan on Tuesday, a must-win match, in the UCL, and I knew that Hansi Flick was planning a massive rotation. I knew Hansi Flick was going to give our first team players, majority of our first team players, resting time just to keep them fit, fresh, and healthy for the match against Inter Milan on Tuesday, a must-win match, remember. So I wasn't expecting Lamine Yamal to start. I wasn't expecting even Pedri that started. I was surprised that Pedri, was going to start the match. I was surprised that Pedri actually started the match. And it actually made sense because Hansi Flick knew that removing Pedri from that middle would have caused a great and a huge imbalance in that middle, and that would have been disastrous. The fact that we considered early in the match through a deflection, it would have been worse. It would have been worse not having a player like Pedri in that middle. So Hansi Flick had the option to either start Pedri or probably Frankie de Jong, but he opted to start Pedri, and that actually gave us a little stability in that middle. So we are only struggling with creating chances, trying to score goals. You can see the team, the quality of the team was not up to par, based on the fact that some strategic players we are not playing, the likes of Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Frankie. You understand? So I was really scared because I knew that the rotation was going to impact the match, and I was really praying for Barcelona to concede a goal early in the match, and we actually conceded through a deflection. And kudos to our guys. They held up to that scoreline and made sure Valladolid did not increase the scoreline, and that was just a step to us winning this match. And then the injury to Daniel Rodriguez brought in Lamine Yamal earlier than expected, and having Lamine Yamal and Pedri on the pitch at the same time in that first half, in the ending part of that first half, gave us much more stability and much more balance. And though Valladolid kept stretching our goalpost, our offside line kind of worked also, but Lamine Yamal getting on that pitch at the later stages of that first half was actually a huge boost of confidence. And then in the second half, I didn't know that Hansi Flick had a wonderful plan for us. He actually had his plan set out, and he actually followed the script. I didn't know that he wanted to start our players, our first team players, from the start of the first half. Initially, I felt he was just going to give them maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so, thereabouts. But then his plan was to start them at the beginning of the first half, of the second half, based on the fact that we were, a goal down. Rafinha started, at the beginning of the second half. Frankie as well. Lamine Yamal was